Hello, my dear students, and a very warm welcome back. I know, exams are just around the corner, but hey, don't you worry one bit. We're going to revise this chapter together and you'll be absolutely ready for it. You know, right now, your head might feel a little bit like this crazy traffic jam on the left, right? So much information, so much confusion. But I promise you, by the end of this quick explainer, your mind is going to be as clear and organized as this beautiful, orderly traffic on the right. Sounds good? So just take a nice, deep breath and forget all that stress. We're about to make this civics chapter so simple, you'll feel like a master in just the next few minutes. Are you ready? Chalo, let's get started. All right, let's dive right in. First things first, why do we even need rules? I mean, think about it for a second. You've got rules at home, right? Rules at school, and of course, traffic rules on the road. Imagine if we didn't have them. It would be total chaos. Well, a country is exactly the same, just on a much bigger scale. It absolutely needs rules to run smoothly. So with this entire process, of making the rules and then making sure everyone follows them so we can all live together peacefully, that's what we call governance. It's basically the system that stops small arguments from becoming huge fights and just keeps everything in society running. And who actually does this whole governance thing? Well, that's the government. The government is that group of people, that system, whose entire job is to create the big, important rules. We call these laws. And then, crucially, to make sure every single person follows them. Okay, now think about this. A government can't just be one person doing everything. That wouldn't work. For it to be stable and fair, it actually stands on three strong pillars. People often call them the three organs of government. The best way to picture it? Imagine a three-legged stool. What happens if you take away even one leg? It just falls over, right? The government is exactly like that. So to really understand these three pillars, let's use a super modern example. I'm sure you all use UPI for payments, don't you? But you've probably also heard about those crazy online scams where people try to steal your money digitally. This is a totally new kind of problem, so the government has to come up with a whole system to handle it. And this is precisely where our three pillars come into action. Pillar number one is the legislature. Simple. These are the rule makers. So when a new problem like the cybercrime thing pops up, the legislature is the group that gets together and actually creates a new law to fight it. In India, our main legislature is our parliament in Delhi. Easy enough, right? Then we have pillar number two, the executive. And these guys are the rule enforcers. So once the legislature makes that law against online scams, it's the executive's job to put that law into action. This includes everyone from the prime minister and the ministers all the way down to the cyber police who are on the ground actually catching the criminals. And finally, our third pillar, the judiciary. You can think of them as the rule judges. This is our entire system of courts, from the smallest local courts right up to the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court of India. So when the police catch a scammer, it's the judiciary that decides, okay, did this person actually break the law? And if so, what should the punishment be? Now, this part is really important. How do these three pillars work together? Well, they don't just operate in their own little bubbles. No, they keep an eye on each other. This amazing system is called checks and balances. It's kind of like a group project at school, right? One person writes the report, another one double checks for any mistakes, and a third person makes sure all the project rules were followed. This system makes sure power is balanced, so no one group can become way too powerful.
Okay, bachcho, exam time. Pay close attention now. This is a super important question. Seriously, it shows up in exams almost every single year. So the question is, what are the three organs of government and what are their functions? Do you have the answer in your head? Let's see.
And there it is. See? Super simple. The legislature makes laws. The executive enforces laws, and the judiciary interprets laws. Just remember these three simple lines and you've got a perfect answer ready to go for your exam. Piece of cake. All right, let's move on to our next big concept. Now, India is a huge country, right? We have over 140 crore people. So just one government sitting in Delhi, can it possibly manage everything for everyone? No way, it's just not possible. And that's exactly why we have different levels, or you could say tiers of government. This pyramid diagram here, it shows our three levels of government perfectly. So at the bottom, closest to you and me, is the local government. That's for your village or your city. Then one level up, you have the state government, which looks after your entire state. And right at the very top, taking care of the whole country, is the central government. Here's a really simple way to remember this. Let's just imagine there's a flood. If it's a small flood, just in one neighborhood, the local government can probably handle it. But what if the flood covers many towns and villages? Well, then the state government needs to step in. And if it's a massive, terrible flood affecting a huge part of the country, then the central government will also get involved, sending the army and national relief funds. See how that works? Different levels for different-sized problems. Okay, time for our last big topic. We always hear this word democracy. People say, India is the world's largest democracy. But what does it actually mean, Yar? Well, in the simplest terms, it just means rule by the people. That's right, the power is with us, the regular citizens. Let's make this even simpler. Think about your class. How do you guys decide where to go for your annual school picnic? Does the teacher just walk in one day and say, we are going here? Or do you all get to have a say in it? I bet you usually discuss a few options, right? Like, should we go to place A or maybe place B? Then your teacher says something like, okay, everyone, who wants place A? Raise your hands. You count them up, then you do the same for place B. And whichever place gets more votes, that's where you go. That, my friends, is exactly what democracy is. And when everyone gets to vote on every single decision directly, we call that direct democracy. But hang on a second. Can you imagine 140 crore people all raising their hands for every single law? It's just impossible, right? So what do? We choose leaders to represent us. We vote for MLAs to make decisions for our state, and we vote for MPs to make decisions for the whole country in Parliament. They make those choices on our behalf. And this system is why we say India is a representative democracy. Okay, everyone, get those phones out. It's time for a super quick revision. I really want you to take a screenshot of this next slide. Trust me, it's like the entire chapter packed into one small table. It's perfect for that last-minute look before you walk into the exam hall. There you have it. So at the central level, you've got Parliament making the laws, with the Prime Minister as the head. They handle all the big national stuff like defense and foreign affairs. Then at the state level, it's the State Assembly making the laws, with the Chief Minister as the head. And they handle state-level things like police and public health. And of course, don't forget the local level, taking care of our immediate neighborhoods. Got that screenshot? Perfect. And just before we finish up, I want to leave you with this amazing quote from the great Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He said, to succeed in your mission, you must have single-minded devotion to your goal. Right now, my dear students, your mission is these exams, so give it your absolute 100% focus. And that's it for our quick revision today. All the very, very best for your exams, bachcho. You've prepared well, you understand the concepts now, and I just know you are going to do great. I have complete faith in every single one of you. Now go and rock that exam.